Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Elucid, and we are homing in on the end of the game. We're playing Lemuria, it's Lord of the Flies, and it's turn 107. So, we are nearing the very end. Without further ado, let's hop into the turn. We are continuing to cast flames from the sky. We hit Avoca, which is right here. Before we put our army on top of it, go ahead and show you the battle here. This is mostly PD, so you can see we'll probably end up beating this. Any PD-only army is basically going to get crushed by Lemuria. We've got Light of the Northern Star and Rigor Mortis. He may have some dudes here in addition to PD, I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll continue kind of going through these in order. We got attacked, but lived. Our priest gets killed by an assassin. Let's take a look and see what kind of assassin we've got here. Just a normal little assassin with a black heart. So, these actually make... It's a pretty good option if you're doing, or if you're playing Midgard. I mean, these guys are stealthy to start off with, and then Air 2 is a very strong assassin path. You can summon air elementals, so pretty damn good. And then this guy gets killed by an assassin, so... the assassins are taking their toll. Coming down, gonna go through these battles rather quickly. Okay, we've got a big battle here in Binopi. So this is a big army from Rilo. We've got a Lich here in the front and a Wraith Lord. Probably going to be doing Phoenix Pyre on that dude. This lady who is all thugged out. Yeah, and all these guys. So, pretty big army from Rilo. We'll see what happens. On my side, I don't have too much. I think I only have like a kind of minimal mage support. One mage. But, oh, this is an important mage. This is Golgoth, who is, that is, by the way, I named him. It is a shout out to Lords of Magic, if any of you guys have played that game. But he is my Earth Air empowered Grand Lemur. And he's going to be dropping Army of Lead, etc. So all these troops aren't going to do much, because I should have Army of Lead coming out. And I might even do Army of Gold. That would probably be smarter here. What are we casting? Oh, I've got two guys. I've got another guy back here. Okay, there goes Army of Gold. So that's really good, because things like Phoenix Pyre aren't going to do much. I'm also going to be mostly immune to these guys. Yeah, that's not going to do hardly anything to my ghosts, so we should clean them up pretty handily. Darkness coming out. Very nice. Darkness is going to be very nice. It's going to make it very easy for me to hit. These guys' defense now is 9, whereas it would have been... yeah, it would have been far higher, like 15. So, very good. And we got Mass Flight out because this guy's air-empowered. And we're a big boss like that. I might just show you his script after the battle so you can see. But these are the things you really want to have off in a good late-game Lemuria fight. Mass Flight is really good with any free spawn nation. We have Army of Gold, which is kind of game-winning, as well as Darkness, which makes our guys much more likely to hit them. And we have Rigor Mortis out. I don't think I put Wailing Winds out, but that's okay. We're going to kill everything. We don't need it to run. The only problem will be, can we kill these Immortals? Like, the Lich, who's going to be very tough to kill with Phoenix Pyre up. And then the Queen of the Lakes, who will be very hard to kill. So we'll see. I don't really know how that's going to go. We may end up... undead commanding the Lich. We'll see. That is one of the ways to get rid of both of these Immortals, is to cast Undead Command. Like, when I kill them, if they respawn somewhere. The Queen of the Lakes, I'm not sure how we're going to kill her. probably would be good to put these guys on advance and cast spells, and then this guy, or at least one of these guys on that as well. To deal with the inevitable super combatants. Okay, one of them dies, and they pop up back here. And once they die once, they tend to kind of die repeatedly. I'm not sure the exact cause for that. I think it's because they generally are fatigued out, so they get hit a lot more. But if we kill them and then they spawn near my dude, then we can convert them. What are the stats on this guy? Yeah, it's empowered in water and fire, which is pretty good. So he is just popping up all over the map. I think, yeah, this lady is fatigued out, so she's not really going to kill anybody. Well, she does seem to be doing some damage. Oh, she might have done Blood Vengeance or something like that. Because I do see these little arrows going off, which are Blood Vengeance attacking. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward a bit more through this. Okay, it appears we converted the Lich. This Lich is on our side now. You can see it has... yeah, you can see right here, you hit F1 to pull up this, it'll show you all the units. It is on my side now, so we have converted it. We have not converted this lady, though the battle's timing out. And she is so fatigued out she may pop at the end of battle. No, she runs off. Okay. So, that was in Binofi. We lose most of our chaff, which is okay. We get the Lich, though, which is very, very nice. Because this Lich has been causing me actually kind of a lot of trouble. And we temporarily kill off the Wraith Lord and kill a bunch of his stuff. So, all in all, very nice fight for us. A battle in the woodlands. I really should have been doing mass flight more. The problem is, you really need communion slaves, or you need to stumble yourself into a nice, high independent air mage, or you can get it through getting fairy queens. And I probably should have gotten more fairy queens, but my pretender was kind of constantly dying. If Astral Corruption wasn't up, I would have more fairy queens for sure. And then I would be doing mass flight like every single fight. I think that's kind of one of the things I want to talk about in the after action review, is how I would play differently if Astral Corruption weren't up. Because if in late age, which is the era this is in, usually there's going to be a Blood Nation in the end game, and so there's a pretty good chance that if the game goes on, you're going to have Astral Corruption up. So it's definitely something you want to think about, and I'm kind of glad I've got a video up where we've got Astral Corruption deep into the late game. Because it is something that does happen in late age a fair amount. But it doesn't really show you all the versatility that Ryla has. Okay, here we have an interesting battle. We'll go ahead and watch that. So Ryla sends in a few kind of super combatant-y vampires to fight my little army that was taking down one of... I think it was Utgard's forts, actually. But I don't know if... Okay, this guy's fire-empowered. This is probably the guy we're not going to kill. Everybody else is normal. Okay, and the fire-empowered dude's going to do Firestorm, and that's going to kill all my stuff. And I think that's about all there is to it. Yeah, and then there was one. So that guy just kind of wrecked me. Anyway, that's unfortunate. That is definitely a win for him. I did want that fort that he was sitting on. Was that this one? No. That was this one, I think. Yeah, okay. A battle in Man. He attacks me, and we have been kicked off of the Fortress of Man. Man has been turned over probably like 100 times. I mean, not literally, but it's been turned over a lot. And then we have a battle in the Fortress of Shem. Okay, let's look at all of these battles. Okay, we take this one, so we get this fort. We get this fort, and the final fort we also get. So we get 3 more forts this turn, so that's pretty huge. Some events. In terms of ice elemental attacks, we kill a false prophet, which is funny, because this is an indie event. I'm not sure what's going to happen to all the dudes that he was leading, since they can no longer be part of him. I guess they can't be stealthy. I don't know if I don't see an indie attack beneath this, but anyway. Okay, we kill a Seth Kona, we kill a Van Jarl, which is a kind of thuggy unit, so I think that can go either way. We kill a Galderman. The Archdevils are fine. The Vampire Lords are fine for the most part. Vampire Lords, we probably kill like 1 in 5 of them. If that. So very nice. Let's take a look at how this is going. So his attack, if you recall here, has now completely failed. He lost about 300 Storm Demons. So I'm not in jeopardy of losing this throne. He's got a big army here. And he's got a big army here. These are the 2 kind of things he's been building up all game that are still left, and he can use those to try to kind of go and claim a throne victory. This fort is popped, so he's going to be breaking through this turn. So this is an extremely critical point. We also are laying claim to this throne right here. And if we get this throne and we protect this one, we've basically won. In addition, Utgard's cap is still under siege. We're going to be storming this capital, or this throne here, and we've got a Holy 3, so next turn we can claim it. So really, we have a good chance to win, basically on the outcome of this turn. If we hold them off here, if he attacks and we survive here, and then if nothing goes wrong, which I don't think it can, and we take this turn, we're basically going to win. So let's talk about each of those things, because those are really, at this point, the only thing that matters. There's some other rating going on, but that's kind of standard stuff. I'm not really going to talk about it. This is what's important. So here, let's look at what we have going on. Itimu's going to be fighting. We've got him kitted out with his gear. He doesn't have a shield, but he's got a Bloodthorn. And he's got plenty of shock resistance, not quite as much as before. He's got 25. But it'll be, I think I've changed him to Stone Skin, not Iron Skin. So that he won't be taking a Shock Malice there, and he'll be up at 30 Shock Protection with the Bless. So I think he'll be okay. With just 30. In addition, we have this person coming in, and he's going to basically be doing Power of the Sphere, Soul Vortex, Horde of Skeletons, and then Darkness. I don't really know if this is actually a good idea. It's kind of wasteful, because Darkness doesn't really help against Storm Demons who can see in the dark, I think. But I don't think this guy will die easily. Well, he might actually. He doesn't have a ton of protection. This might be a bad idea. Probably is. Who else is moving in? Most of the guys here are just chilling out. Yeah, most of the people here are researching. Okay, this guy's also moving in. Okay, yeah, no, I remember what I'm doing now. So, these guys who are coming in, they're basically kind of anti... If he has people there just to snipe thugs or super combatants, hopefully they will live long enough to kind of dilute any, like, life for a life or stuff like that that otherwise would just go on Itimu. I do not think with the protection they have, they're going to like survive for very long. But anyway. Yeah, I think that's what's going on here. Now, we have... This is basically a 2-phase hold. Phase 1 is Itimu attacking, and hopefully he kills everything, with some other guys who are kind of super combatant-y there as well. Phase 2... is all the guys inside. We actually have a decent kind of reserve of people casting spells. This guy's going to do Power Sphere's Grip of Winter Quagmire. This guy is going to do Summon Earth Power and then Lightning Resistance. Could he not have done Ground Army? He may have. Let's go ahead and check. It's 4? Yeah, he totally could have cast Ground Army. He probably should have cast Ground Army instead of Lightning Resistance. Oh no, this guy's casting it. Okay, so this is my Ground Army guy. Summon Earth Power, Ground Army. And then he's going to make Earth Elementals. This guy is going to do Power of the Spheres, Mass Protection, and then Relief. I don't know if I have another guy. I should have probably tried to cast Mass Regeneration too. So it's 2 phases. Phase 1, we're going to attack them here and actually want to win Phase 1. Phase 2 is a little more desperate, but we're going to be having Mass Protection and Ground Army, which is a pretty good combo. Again, it's as good a combo as we're going to get against Storm Demons. Yeah. Those are kind of the big ones with Grip of Winter and Quagmire. So, anyway, it'll be what it is, but that is the defense we're going to lay here. The other, of course, a very critical battle is there's probably going to be a battle here. No, but I'm not actually going to defend. Yeah, okay. I don't have anybody here defending this. I don't think he has quite it. Well, he actually might have enough to take this from me. And then, of course, here we're just going to storm this. I don't think there's anything inside. It doesn't matter. So this is just Wailing Winds and Rigor Mortis. And I think the other thing I have is I've got some of these guys who are going to be sneaking inside, and they can then claim this. The other important battle, of course, is here, which is this final Throne of Utgards, and we are going to be doing something similar. We're doing Summon Earth Power Ground Army, Strength of Giants, and then we're going to be doing Power of Spheres, and then Wailing Winds and Rigor Mortis, and then Mass Protection. I should be doing Mass Regeneration, but I'm not. We are also throwing in Mass Flight, which is going to make a big difference if he does not have Storm up. If Storm's up, it's not going to matter as much. And that's basically it here. So we'll see how... I think we're going to actually have our first in this next turn, which I think we'll do this episode. This will probably be the last real episode. I'll go ahead and pull up the next turn. We should have some real concerted fights here with actual ghosts fighting storm demons, whereas I've been trying to avoid that, but I'm a little desperate here at the end. And Tartarian Gate. I haven't really shown you any of the Tartarians, so we've gotten a few, and these are actually a great option late game for Lemuria, especially if you take a Recuperation Bless, because you can throw a Shroud on these guys, and then they will get rid of their feeble-mindedness. I think we have a couple. I've been moving them around. I don't know where they are as of the moment. We're doing more. I know I should have one. Where are my Tartarians? Okay, here's one of them. So yeah, you can see we've made them commanders now, and we're putting shrouds on them, which will give them recuperation, and it should get rid of this business. But for this to work, my god has to stay alive, so she's definitely not going to be casting anything. Here's one of the Tartarians who has come out without Feeble-Minded. And this actually is a pretty useful path. Crosspath, Air Blood, you can get Robe of the Magi, which is pretty damn sweet. And then this is kind of our highest aircaster, or almost highest aircaster. So that's good also. Anyway, we do Transmute Fire because we're running out of gold. So we put 99 Fire Gems into 2,500 gold. Bunch of things happen. Our queen, she's actually proved quite survivable with this latest mix-up of equipment. She's gotten attacked every turn, but has not been killed, so that's quite nice for us. And then we're going to get to the important things. We have a battle in here that doesn't matter. A battle in the Soaked Earth. That's actually okay. I think we actually defeat those guys. The vampires. And then coming down here, we do attack Ryla. And it appears that that we win here, so that's nice. I think this was actually in the water. Yeah, let's check. Oh no, that was right here. With Utgard, we successfully raid. He raids us. Midgard raids us. We raid Midgard successfully. I'm not going to really kind of summarize all these. I'll click through a little faster. Not a big battle. This is a kind of a big little raid against Midgard. He didn't bring much there, so I'm not going to show that. Jiria, okay, we've got a big battle. Okay, so this is over one of the Throne Provinces. This is Salvo 1. Remember, there's 2 salvos for this fight. Salvo 1 is Itimu, basically, with a few friends. And against kind of the full might of Midgard. Okay, those guys in the front kind of get deleted. Now, my guys don't have a... Like, my lemurs do not have a lot of protection, but they do have a fair amount of magic resistance. We have Gifts of Heaven coming out, which is not something I really want to see hit Itimu. More Gifts of Heaven. That's kind of why I brought these guys here, to hopefully be a target for some of the thug-killing things. Okay, Flame Eruption misses. Okay, and we are mostly immune to the lightning. We've got 30 shock resistance. But these guys can definitely hurt us. But he is getting a ton of friendly fire here. Okay, darkness drops, which may or may not help. I'm pretty, like, 99% sure these guys have dark vision. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm going to pick up the speed here. Right now you can see we've got some Horde of Skeletons coming out in the back. The Storm Demons are starting to land. They're ignoring this guy in the back, and they're kind of coming around here. This guy is actually doing surprisingly well with very minimal gear against Storm Demons. I would have predicted him to have died long ago. Okay, and he finally dies. But Itimu is not dead. Not even close. On the back lines over here, he's got Wrathful Skies up too, and Storm. So some of his own dudes are probably going to get killed by it, if they haven't already. Because like these guys, they have 10 shock resistance, but that's not enough to make you immune to Wrathful Skies. I do not think. I think you need like almost 15 to be completely immune. Because it does armor negating damage that, with a good dice roll, it can still kind of kill you. But it seems that Rigor Mortis has set in, and all the Storm Demons are fatigued up. So now we're summoning hordes of undead, and they are rampaging across the battlefield, killing all the Storm Demons. So this is the end of a mighty Midgard army, and it turns out we don't need Phase 2, so we will not get to see a Ghost battle. A Ghost vs. Storm Demon battle here, though he may have attacked us in our other Throne Province. And there goes Itimu, the hero that we got at the very beginning of the game, only on turn 10 or something. And he has just been of immense value all game. Winning the game for me in some ways. So that was Jira, and if we look at the battle report, everybody dies except Itimu, and one of the Grand Lemurs. On the flip side, he loses everything. Everything everything except for 4 storm demons or something like that. 4 storm demons and... Is that it? One Galderman. Yeah, I don't know if that math fully adds up, but anyway, he lost basically everything. So that's extremely important. That's going to make it very, very difficult for Midgard to win, and basically seals the deal that I'm going to win this. Coming down here, we have somebody successfully attacks me. Midgard here attacks me. I think we get beaten, actually. Let's go watch this. I don't know where this is. Okay, this was one of our armies that was just sieging down the fort he had just taken from me that was adjacent to that throne province we just saw that battle on. And so we do mass protection and ground army, I think. Or no, we don't do ground army, just mass protection. And our guys run in, and this is kind of what a Storm Demon fight looks like versus Undead. These even had mass protection and stuff, so... you know, this is about as good as you could expect it to go. And that was what, this one? Yeah, he loses 3 and kills 400 with 70 dudes. And this is basically what you'd expect. So that's kind of how Storm Demon armies play out, and they're good against almost anything. It's not just they're specifically good against my troops. They are all-purpose troops, and that's why I was really terrified about them. But they're not good against specifically kitted thugs designed to kill them. Glannis. Okay, we raid. Ryla's Pretender pops back out and he dies. That's actually kind of comical. We might have to watch that. I guess this is the script he had from before. So it's like a thug script, run in and attack. Okay, and then my dude plus like 1 or 2 skeletons he summons killed him. That's kind of comical. Because if his guy was off script, he wouldn't have done those specific thug things and then attacked. That was like the script from before, but if I kill him right away, he never has a chance to change his script. Battle here in the Fortress of the Woodlands, so it looks like we take this from Utgard. And I think this is actually the last of the throne provinces we will need. Oh no, that's this province. Do we take the other one? Okay, there was one battle I was expecting us to have that we didn't, which is right here. So we're going to storm this and take this next turn, but I'm not actually sure I need it, because if we look at the throne situation, I am now up to 5. But this turn, I will be claiming this throne, which is worth 1, and I will be claiming this throne, which is worth 2, and 5 plus 3, or 5 plus 2 plus 1, is 8. And with that, we will win. So this is the last turn of the game, because he can't stop me, and I don't actually end up needing this throne. So, that is it. And actually, we were about to storm this castle, too. So we ended up with a little bit of overkill at the end. We had some big battles, and I think we had said we were going to just have one last hurrah, and I was going to finally send out all these guys and attack, and we would see kind of what happens. But I'm pretty sure I know what happens. I'm pretty sure his armies would kill mine. I was pretty sure I would lose this too. It was a little desperate of me, but anyway. 200 Storm Demons is so scary. I kind of beat them through some kind of abuse with Timu, but yeah, they're scary. But anyway, that's the end of the series. So, we talked after this, and the guy who was playing Midgard and I are friends, and the guy who's playing Utgard and I are friends, and they were like, yeah, okay, it's over. So I'd like to especially thank the players in this game. I'd like to thank maybe not the original Midgard player, because he kind of rage quit, but certainly the sub who took up and took Midgard over. It was certainly an intelligent build and an intelligent play from both Midgard players. And And I think Midgard definitely had a chance. I think if he had done like Life for a Life and some things like that, he probably would have been able to kill me in some of these battles where I used thugs. But I think I had a very strong advantage with having Vengeful Waters up in combination with tons of ghosts hiding in forts. So it would have been very difficult for him to win, I think, but I think it probably was possible, and he played it out to the bitter end. So thank you very much to this player. And to the guy who played Utgard. Yeah, he did a pretty awesome job at holding on. I think, kind of reflecting on it, he had like a Deathball Communion strategy that worked really, really well. And I think if he had enough of those, he probably could have. I don't know if he would have won the game with it, but he would have beaten me back into and like taken all of Kalem's lands. If you remember, this was once Kalem. So I think he could have. I think the Deathball Communion thing, where he had all of the hurlers around his communion, and he had Mass Regeneration up, so he didn't really have to worry very much about Wind of Death. And then a bunch of spam coming out. That seemed to work very well. It was a little susceptible to Wind of Death trap, but if he got anti-magic off on round 1, it was really minimal losses, and they could break through forts in one turn. I think if he had like 3 or 4 of those marching through, he probably could have won. Against me. I think that was his best strategy. The super combatants he did were awesome. But I think I ended up kind of pulling him in so many directions that he ended up splitting his forces and never really had that optimal communion hurler ratio set up that he kept pushing into me. And I certainly was applying a ton of pressure. I mean, I didn't even really go through a lot of the turns, all the different places I was raiding. I mean, I was raiding everywhere. So it was very hard for him to, even blood hunt, because to blood hunt, really, you have to be able to patrol your province. And if I'm constantly raiding and killing your, chaffy PD or your chaffy patrollers, it's really hard to have a good blood economy. So he held out for a long time. I think there was a chance that he could have won. And he definitely played way longer than he probably needed to, and made it very difficult for me to take his lands. And then finally, a thank you to Ryla, who was very diplomatic in the beginning of the game, and we negotiated a peace. I kind of wanted to attack him early because I thought Lemuria versus Ryla, especially early, was a very good matchup for me. But he negotiated a peace. I eventually we called an end to it. And then he was, normally when people attack you and then you negotiate peace with them and then they attack you again, people can get kind of bitter. I mean, I did it with warning, like I said, hey, our nap is ending, I think. Or maybe our nap naturally expired after like 12 turns and then I attacked him on 20. But anyway, he was super civil, and he fought really hard, and he made it where it was definitely not to my advantage to attack deep in here. And he kept trying to... I think there's 2 things. One is like just logging in and playing your turns, but he was actually trying to make plays to kind of win. He was looking for opportunities, like he came in, kicked the Garth out over here of Abyssea's former stuff, and was kind of making a holding. Ultimately, though, I think both Utgard and Ryla suffered from Midgard staying out of the fight so long. So, anyway, I think I think if Midgard attacked earlier while Utgard was still fighting me, they probably could have pushed me back really hard. But I would have disrupted a lot of Midgard's. I would have had some gains from it from raiding, but not that much if he made good use of Infernal Disease. So, I think I might do a final after-action review where I talk about a few more kind of game-ending thoughts, or thoughts at the end of the game. How things that you want to look to do with Lemuria that I didn't do. And maybe a few other thoughts on Pretender builds. So log in one more time for the final episode of this Let's Play, and I thank you all for watching.